say give me a second chance, that's fine, but ultimately the judge will decide, how this will go, what he will get, and how this will play out.
That's interesting, exactly what you're talking about, because we know the prosecutors obviously have asked for this longer sentence. His attorneys are asking for essentially time already served. And then we have the probation department and the recommendation. Essentially, that's the neutral body, or at least it's supposed to be the eyes and the ears of the judge. And they've kind of come in between in the 7-year range. So a lot of people are kind of saying maybe the judge will go plus or minus somewhere along those lines. Is that kind of what the sense of what you're getting when you've seen some of the coverage and talked to some of the legal experts out there?
Absolutely, Dan. Yep, that's exactly how that's going to go. I'm going to bring in Seth Zuckerman now. Seth just got to be down here to us. Roy and Dan, our colleagues, are here putting him in position in place. You may see him duck underneath the camera for just 1 second, but we're fluid. Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Dan, for making this happen. So, yeah, I'm going to bring in Seth right now. Right there. Seth Zuckerman, look right at me. Good morning. You're on Newsroom Live. Me, Dan Bowens is back in the station. And one of the questions that's just come up, we were talking about Judge Sumerian. You just step back just a little bit. Right there. You good, sir. Judge Sumerian and which way he could go, the impact, the weight, if you will, of what the statements and the letters were. How do you see that going in this particular case?
So the judge has a lot to weigh in this case, Anton. As we've seen, the sentencing memos that the prosecutors put forth was close to 180 pages, similar length for the defense. As I'm sure you've noted this morning, the prosecutors are asking for 135 months, which is over 11 years. The defense is asking for 14 months, which is in essence time served. But I think what's really important is actually what the Department of Probation has recommended. The Department of Probation has recommended 70 to 87 months. And I think a judge similar to this judge who has a little experience with criminal law, has been on the bench for only a couple of years, right. I think he's going to tether himself a lot to the Department of Probation recommendation. I think that 70 to 87 months that the Department of Probation has recommended is really going to weigh heavily on this judge. And I would expect to see a sentence somewhere in that range. Maybe I've been predicting a little bit lower than that, but I think that's going to be a big consideration for the judge. In addition to the victim impact statements that the prosecutors have put forth and all of the family letters that Combs has put forth, including Combs' own letter, which was submitted yesterday evening, those are all the things that the judge has to weigh in considering the sentence here. But I think the Department of Probation recommendation is going to weigh heavily here.